I'm going to change track a little bit now, and the case of the Washington snipers a couple of years ago. This is John Muhammad, and the young one is John Lee Malvo. This is from the BBC website. Mr. Muhammad is the father of 4 children. He's been married at least twice. He's been through bitter legal battles for custody of his children. Mr. Muhammad divorced Carol Williams, his first wife, some 18 years ago. That'll be 20 years ago now. Interviewed by the Seattle Times, she said she last saw him in August 2002 and described him as outgoing, with a good sense of humour. He wasn't a quiet type, he liked to talk, he liked to mingle with people. She also said he was not a violent man. However, a family court, had awarded one of his ex-wives a permanent restraining order after he allegedly threatened to kill her. And here's the timeline. 4th of September 2001, Muhammad was told he couldn't see his children. 11th of September 2001, the terrorists flew the plane into the building. 21st of September 2002, virtually the first anniversary, was the first of the sniper killings. It took the police there a month to catch him. And I want to just help you understand this. I in no way condone that behaviour. But what happens is, first you get angry with your ex-partner, then you get angry with her lawyer, then you get angry with the family court, then you get angry with the people who made the law the way it is, and then you get angry with the people who failed to elect a government that allowed that law to continue. Now, of course, he's not the only one. This little boy in the picture here, you probably remember this from the front page of the paper a couple of years ago. This is Elian Gonzalez. He was a Cuban boy who was awarded, there was a family court case, and he was put in his father's custody. The mother kidnapped him from Cuba and took him to Florida, and I'm not quite sure how, but the mother died, and the US authorities subsequently ordered that Elian be returned to his father in Cuba. The family would not obey that order and took Elian into hiding. Now, if you're a military culture that has a lot of belief in guns and military might, then you go looking for this child with a machine gun. And I hope that we never get into that situation here. But I put it to you, how much injustice can you cope with? And what would you do in the face of unjust law? And I put it to you, you show me a terrorist, and I will show you someone who has had their rights trampled on, or more likely, their children's rights trampled on. That's what makes terrorists. We are seriously hampered in this country in research to understand these problems by the fact that everything that goes through the family court is suppressed. We can't even do prospective studies, because once a guy goes into the family court, everything that happens to him is suppressed from then on. The only thing we can look at is, did this guy have a relationship breakdown? Research into family violence is confounded by some things. Firstly, men are less likely to report violence by their female partner to the police. If they do report it, it's less likely to be recorded and acted on, and in some cases the police and courts will deliberately misinterpret actions of men to construe them as violent, and those of women to construe them as less violent. If a man does report violence by his partner, the most likely outcome is that he will be laughed at or suspected of being violent himself. He may even be arrested for violence. Women do commit murder, but of course they don't really mean to. This woman stabbed her partner in the leg. It one of the arteries and he died. But she only got 3 years for that murder because she didn't really intend to kill him. This lady killed her husband and got 4 years, 3 months in prison because her husband was violent. Now, of course, she says that, but her husband isn't around to tell his side of the story. This is a lady who's violent, not even to someone who's wronged her. This lady killed her neighbour because the neighbour refused to babysit for her. Here's another one, woman charged after man dies. I know of a guy who was beaten by his wife. The police attended at his request, and they dropped him off in front of the local accident and emergency for treatment, accident emergency department for treatment. They didn't lay any charges against the wife. They didn't make any records. They didn't offer him victim support. Just dropped him off at the door. See you later. Of course, our institutions aren't biased. Yeah, right. Here's one from the Dominion again. CYFS is softer on women than men in child abuse cases. About 10% of protection orders are given to men. Some women are so dangerous that the courts have to pay attention. However, that requires significant amount of evidence. They need to take photographs, witness statements, etc.